So Jason, I got my computer back now.
Okay.
So it would be better if you send me the stuff to my computer at home.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, if you don't mind sending it to me.
All right, so as always, let's start with the review from last week. So I'll just do a quick reminder. This is our complete phrase. Mapach pashta munach Zakeif Katon. So let's do that together. Mapach pashta munach Zakeif Katon. Good, and I'll do some other little practice exercises here. 1, 2, 3. Pashta, pashta. Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. And this one. Mapach pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one. Pashta Zakeif Katon. And that one. Pashta Munach Zakeif Katon. And that one. Mapach pashta Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one. Mapach pashta Zakeif Katon. And that one. Mapach pashta Zakeif Katon. And that one. Mapach pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. All right. So that's a quick review there. I think we stopped short of. We did a few examples of. This is a single example that we did last week. This is 2 tropes on 1 word, right? So you just 2 accents, and you just divide up the word as if it's 2 separate words, ulmo and adim. So how would this sound? Ulmo adim. Right. Exactly. And 2 pashtas on 1 word. It's the word pashta is a terrible example to use as a 2 pashta example because it's got its accent on the last syllable. So all you can really sing when you have pashta on a pashta is pashta, and the accent is on the ta. You have the upbeat pash and the ta where it appears. But I think, yeah, we actually have other words here that do make more sense. So this one is yecheratz kelev. Yeah, kelev, right? So you have the accent on the kev. Yecheratz kelev. And this one, el tatzar. Never heard that one before. Anyway, avarti. 1, 2, 3.
Avarti.
Yeah, make sure we have the jump up. Avarti, like that.
Avarti.
Yeah, that's it. It might serve us all well to be down in that key, actually. Goren. Try that, everyone. Goren. Yeah, we are more together there. That's good. We'll do that. I don't have to read it for you. Sorry. I'm used to doing this with B'nai Mitzvah students whose Hebrew reading isn't as good as yours. So, 1, 2, 3. Mahatzi. Excellent. Okay, that's enough of that. So, adding words to Zakeif Katon phrases and update my HP software. This dialog box doesn't like to go away. I'm hoping it will. Come on. Will this bring this forward? No, of course it won't. Oh, okay, at least it's responsive. Phew. Okay, that didn't take too long.
So relabeled as laning and tech support.
Exactly. I'll rename the class. So, Zakeif Katon here. 1, 2, 3. Eli. Good. And this one. Et Tulunot B'nei Yisrael. Good. And this one. Admat HaKohanim Levadam. Good. 1, 2, 3. Vayidkor et Shneihem. So here the thing that's interesting is that you have the et Shneihem. It's a compound word. It's more syllables before we get to the Zakeif Katon, but they're just the upbeat notes of Zakeif Ka. So et Shneihem. Not too tricky. Exactly follows the rules. Okay. Don't know if I mentioned this before, but here's a new thing, I think. When we have a green trope, that's a mapach there, and it's preceded by a munach, the munach doesn't get any special treatment. It's almost as if it's one word just with the mapach on it. So this munach doesn't sound like anything musically. You just make it another upbeat note. So this would be kilo. See that? Kilo. Doesn't have to be any faster. You can go kilo.
Is that just with Munach?
Munach is the only thing that
It's
comes.
kind of almost the reverse of what you have in the Haftarah, because when you have a pairing like that, you end up by making much more accent, much more singing on the
On the munach.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. But anyway, this is Torah. I just don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's fine, because that kind of reminds me.
Yeah. Okay. So here, the answer to the question is there aren't any other green tropes. It's really two green tropes in a row, and when the first one's munach. There could be another green trope here, like a Talisha Kitana, which is actually going to be over here, but this will always just lead in right to the next green trope. Kilo yirash ben ha'ama hazot. Yes, good. And this one. Chamishim hatzadikim chamisha. Yes, it's hatzadikim. This one, 1, 2, 3. Miknei kinyano. And this one. Vayasfu. Interesting. Vayasfu. Vayasfu. Because you need that. This is a Hebrew thing, not so much a trope thing. The trope is on the ya. So the accent is vayasfu. There's two accents here. And the samach has a shva underneath it that's not voiced because it's an inside shva where the samach finishes the syllable as, right? Vayasfu. We need the aleph to do the glottal stop, right? We can't go vayasfu. That's it. Okay. And this one, 1, 2, 3. Asher yishkav et kalato. Good. All right. That's good. So combining phrases. Now this is kind of like the review to date part, which is like very fun. So everyone, don't panic. You know all this stuff. We've done it all. So I'll do this one should I do this as an example, or here comes more technical support stuff. That one's just gonna stay behind. Okay. Mercha tipech. You're gonna join me? 1, 2, 3. Mercha tipecha munach etnachta mapach pashta munach Zakeif Katon mercha tipecha mercha sof pasuk. The look on your face. That was good. You did a good job. You did a good job. Let's do that one again. Let's just get to practice this whole line. This is like the once through everything without the multiple possible combinations. This is like your longest phrase possible with the tropes we've learned. Okay, once through. Because you could have multiple pashta. This is once through everything. Okay, so mercha, 1, 2, 3. Mercha tipecha munach etnachta mapach pashta munach Zakeif Katon mercha tipecha munach sof pasuk. I messed up that one. I said munach. It's mercha sof pasuk, not munach. But you did it right. That's the important thing here. 1, 2, 3. Mapach pashta munach Zakeif Katon tipecha etnachta. It's a little low for my voice this morning. That's all right. 1, 2, 3. Tipecha munach etnachta pashta munach Zakeif Katon. Yeah, and hopefully by now you should see that this is like, it's very modular. Do every trope on its own, or pairs really, I'll say pairs, as I've said before, and it all comes together exactly right. That's exactly what happens when we're studying Torah. Just take it, the word or two at a time that has the trope groups, and put it all together. So this one, ma'pach, 1, 2, 3. Ma'pach pashta munach, Zakeif Katon, tipecha, munach, Etnachta. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Tipecha, munach, Etnachta, mapach, pashta, munach, Zakeif Katon. See if there's anything else particularly interesting here. Oh, actually, that one would have been good. That's the whole long one. I'm looking for this one. Okay. This one, careful, we have tipacha followed by mercha, rather than the usual, I would guess, I don't know if usual is the right word, but certainly as we learned it when we learned mercha, tipecha, this one's backwards. It's tipecha, mercha. Okay, so Pasuk. Let's do this one. Mapach, 1, 2, 3. Mapach, pashta, Zakeif Katon, tipecha, mercha, sof Pasuk. Yeah. Some communities, some people, some Ba'alei Koreh, gloss over this difference. They'll just do mercha, tipecha, sof Pasuk, but you can be more accurate because it says tipecha, mercha, sof Pasuk, and I'm going to encourage us to be very medactic about it, very stringent. Yes? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Mercha, tipecha, etnachta, tipecha, mercha, sof Pasuk. See, if it wasn't important, we wouldn't have that very example. Right? Do both of those in one. Okay, so that's very good. Let's go on. So we're going to add words here. Okay. There's something on the on the left-hand side here which is important. I'm going to try and zoom in. Yeah. Okay. In the frame to the right, you'll find a phrase from the Tanakh that includes combinations of Etnachta, sof Pasuk, and basic Zakeif Katon phrases. Try singing the phrases on the frame to the right. Don't forget to sing the melody. Okay, fine. That's usual. Okay, this is the important thing. Remember, you may encounter an occasional kri, or kri kativ as it's called. Kri from the word koreh, the way we read it, or likro, to read. And kativ from the root word katav, which means to write, or written. So sometimes in the Torah, there's a word that we pronounce differently than it, not obviously in the Torah necessarily, could be as it's written in the Torah. But in our text that we use to study from the Tikkun, we may find a different word than even the spelling in the Torah. And the way this program works is that they'll put the word that as it's written in the Torah in red, because we don't say it that way, and then they'll put the way we do say it in green in this thing. So it looks just like that on the right here. So the word in the Torah is written hitpachtu. Hitpatchu, and the word that we're supposed to pronounce is hitpatchi. We're supposed to change that vav into a yud. So some people say, why isn't the Torah perfect? Well, I guess nothing in our universe is entirely perfect. It comes down to a human piece of the puzzle, where the rabbis of old who were studying this and figuring out how it's passed on and what its actual meanings are, have decided that it would be more applicable to us if it was a slightly different word with a slightly different grammatical presentation. That means a slightly different thing, but it's usually going to be the same root. Like hitpatechu is and you shall open or be open, depending on what the context is. And hitpatchi is a bit more personal. It's a singular presentation. It's still the infinitive. It's still go and do this, or hitpala. So
it's I. It's
yeah.
first person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The green one is first person singular, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just pointing that out. But the exercises here, I don't know if they have any green fricative, but here we go. So this is just examples of what we've done with words, but I think it's more cumulative. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Uvnei zan chushim. Good. And this one, oh good. It's longer, but don't panic. We do it just as slowly, and if it takes us longer, great, fine, no problem. 1, 2, 3. O vishti, O ve'erev, la pishtim, ve'lat samer, O ve'or, O bechol melechet or. So yeah, so ve'lat samer, right? We have to ve'lat samer. And also here, remember this trick that we learned last week? We have just one syllable on a sof pasuk. So how do you do a word that's accented on the second to last syllable before a sof pasuk that's one syllable? You're going to borrow the upbeat notes from the sof pa and put it on the last, the extra beat syllable of the previous word. So bechol chet or, the chet or is the sof pasuk, right? So we do that for musical aesthetics, I guess you could say. But by the letter of the law, bechol chet or, but that's not as pretty. Bechol chet or. So that was very good. Well done.
But both are right?
Both, yeah, but
One's pretty.
you won't usually, and also you don't usually see people doing that specific cutoff.
Okay.
We tend, like I don't think I've ever heard anyone do that. I always hear them borrowing the upbeat note of the sof pasuk and putting it onto the extra syllable of the previous word because the accent is on the second to last syllable. Yeah. Okay, good. We have a lot of syllables in this sentence. So, and some of them have some double tropes, and some of them is just a lot of upbeat notes. So let's do this one. Vaha, 1, 2, 3. Veha chasida, veha anafa, lemina, veha duchifat, veha atalef. Well done. Perfect. Does anyone have any questions on that or
No, but
problems?
that makes sense because the Vaha is really the article and so it's two words, right? It's compounded now, in a way.
In a way, yes.
In a way.
Veha, yeah, the
yeah.
suffix from the rest of the prefix from the rest of the word.
Yeah.
Is that what we did? Veha
Yeah,
is
and then
prefixing?
so if you want to make sure that that's understood that it's a definite article
Mm-hmm.
and the word,
'Cause
then
it's ha,
you
definite
really
article.
need to make that pause.
That's right.
Regardless of what you do.
Well, or at least a musical moment. Yes. Veha chaslida. Yeah. Okay. Good. Very good. Good point. 1, 2. Okay. Good. Double pashta because, just to review this quickly, because the accent is on the tahu, it's on the second to last syllable. It's double pashta because why don't they just move it over and put it over the accented syllable? Is the question. Well, because pashta always hangs off the end of the word. That's where it lives. It doesn't actually attach to a syllable, right? Because it's close to the last syllable, we usually don't double it up when the accent is on the last syllable. But here, we have to move it, but we also have to leave it. That's why we have two. And it's grayed out, just so we are remembering that that's not the one we put the accent on, right? So this one is Vayish, well, you can do all this together. 1, 2, 3. Vayishtachu Avraham lifnei am haaretz. Good. And this one, 1, 2, 3. Midaber sheker tirchak v'naki v'tzadik al taharok ki lo atzdik rasha. Yeah, good. And this one, 1, 2, 3. V'gam erev rav ala Tom, sorry. V'tzon uvakar mikne kaved me'od. Yep, very good. And last one, I think, and then we'll go on. 1, 2, 3. Vayomer Yisrael lama hareotem li lehagid leish ha'od lachem ach. See, that one we can do. Lachem ach. We don't need to go lachem There's no need for that, right? Because musically it's fine. But there is something here. Lama. No, that wasn't it. Where was it? Oh, right. It's too low for me. Sorry, guys. You see what I'm saying? Like we're adding the etnach. Even though the accent is on the last syllable, we're taking that last syllable and adding the upbeat note of the etnachta to that previous word so that we have a nice connection to the li. Otherwise it would be hareotem li, which is weird. It doesn't sound like a proper etnachta. We really want dum dum, right? So most people will do lama hareotem li tem li. The accent is still properly on the last note of the hareotem, right? Because it's not moving the accent.
Li.
Correct. You can't do that. That's just beyond the. Yeah, exactly. So that's really good. Let's go on. And good. New unit. Revi'i phrases. Again, I think I can zoom in on this. Yeah. So with the Etnachta, Sof Pasuk, and basic Zakeif Katon, we've covered tropes that appear with 3/4 of the words in the Tanakh. That means we're 75% through the course. Not really. This is a lot more helper tropes to discuss. Yeah. But this is the first of several lessons covering tropes that are seen a bit less often. So we've covered the big tropes, okay? The most common of these slightly lesser tropes is a phrase, let me do that again. The most common of these trope phrases ends in revi'ah. We actually, again, I couldn't get the program to switch modes without crashing. I don't know why. I tried rebooting. Something's not right. We actually call it revi'i in our Ashkenaz circles. Revi'ah is a Sephardic way of dealing with it. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. What's the root word here in revi'ah? Revi'i, I'll translate on the fly. Fourth, right. Arba, right? So, revi'i sounds like this. Revi'i, revi'i. 4 notes down with whatever pickup beats there are, right? Upbeats there are. Okay? So they've colored the revi'i symbol red to indicate that you must stop for a moment after chanting the word. Like a munach needs something else to finish it, right? So revi'i is the opposite. It stops. Like an etnachta and like a sof pasuk. You can't attach something. It's not revi'i pashta. Like I can't invent something because there isn't something. So revi'i helper tropes. Almost half the time revi'i appears by itself with no helper tropes. It can just be a note out of the blue, so that's fine. Another third of the time, it's funny, that's apparently somebody's counted, but revi'i is helped by munach. So the special combination of munach revi'i, munach, think of it as a pair, munach revi'i, munach, unlike the other munachs, munach, this one's munach, just goes over the top of the mountain crest there, munach, and then down the hill, revi'i, whereas I sometimes say down the river, because river sounds like revi'i, I don't know, it's one of the things I teach the kids. Anyway, sometimes the word with the munach is followed by a vertical line called a pasek, or some people say psik, right? When a word with the munach is followed by a pasek or psik in a revi'i phrase, the munach has a special name. It's called munach legarmei, and it sounds like this: munach legarmei. Okay? When the munach with a pasek is not in a revi'i phrase, it's just an ordinary munach, whatever munach it's attached to. So what I'm sort of saying is, don't worry about that for now because we don't have an example on our screen in front of us. And also, don't worry too much about figuring out which one it is when you're looking at the text, because if you're using Trope Trainer, which if you ask me to help you prepare a Torah reading, I'm always going to give you a Trope Trainer sheet with all the colors as you were used to learning it. You'll be able to clearly see an orange trope, munach legarmei, with the orange line after it. And it's clear that you'll know to go munach legarmei, as opposed to, because we could have, if it's, again, let me just review that. If it's a phrase with a revi'i and a munach right before it, it's probably going to be legarmei, munach revi'i. If you see a munach with a psek and it's not a revi'i phrase, like if you open up a chumash and you're just practicing from a chumash, which doesn't have any colors, you may have to decide, is this a munach legarmei? Because sometimes the psik what I'm saying, let me be a little clearer here. If you open up a chumash, you're going to see some phrases, and sometimes there's going to be a psik after a munach. The question is that munach legarmei, or is it munach and then something? Well, if it's got a revi'i right after it, it's not a munach legarmei, it's a pause. Munach revi'i. You actually pause, maybe that was a little bit long of a pause. But if it's a munach and a line, revi'i, you pause, not turn it into a legarmei.
So when do you turn it into a legarmei?
When the next note after the psik is not a revi'i.
Okay.
So for example, munach. Sorry, let me say it. If you have munach, psik, Zakeif, Katon, normally this would sound like munach, Zakeif, Katon, right? But if there's a psik before that munach, after that munach, then that's a munach legarmei because it's not a revi'i phrase. It would sound like this: munach legarmei, Katon. Sorry, I paused too long. I didn't mean to pause. I was just figuring out the note in my head.
Okay.
Perhaps a bad example because Katon doesn't usually appear by itself. But we're going to see examples of that. I'm going to for now say, trust me, and don't get overwhelmed by that. We'll see it when we see it. So that's that. So here's an example, right? So this is a munach legarmei, munach revi'i. Now,